So do you think that Katie and Schwartz slipped the producers extra to record every single solitary moment of the episode to be their own wedding photographers and videographers?
Yeah, Bravo, the official videographer of the Schwartz's wedding. They even had like the music from the band playing. That's great. I mean, you really got a sense of all of it.
I was going to ask you about that in a second. Hello, everyone. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio podcast. We have made it to the end of season 5 and the wedding that never ends. This is season 5, episode 21, introducing Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz. Okay. I'm Sunday, pop culture professor. This one was juicy. I mean, I don't even have an intro for that one because I can't wait to get to the 3 months later of it all. So I can't, I don't want to take up any more time.
I can help you. I'm Jeff, the former Bravo noob. 5 complete seasons into these, Fools, and a few others. So no longer noob, ready to dish. And I can suggest a different title and see if that gets you somewhere. May the Schwartzes be with you. That was one we had out. You know, I like a little title mix up. So there's one.
Kids, ask your parents.
Yeah,
although,
that's right.
Have you heard they're about to do a remake or a reboot or a sequel to Spaceballs? Have you heard this?
Yeah, we got little Lewis Pullman and some other folks coming out for it. So Lone Star's son. Yeah.
So previously on this season, and I'm going to do, this is a real brief wrap up, wedding stuff. Katie versus Lala. It was literally this season when Katie was calling Lala a whore who sleeps with married men, and that Jax was spreading rumors about Brittany's Kentucky muffin. That was this season.
The one that got me, I flipped through to play this one, and it went through every episode. So I saw the title of the first one, Summer Bodies. That's this season. Summer Bodies.
This season. Shay has been in the studio and hasn't come home. Or let me change that verb. Doesn't come home is where we leave it, where we enter. Ariana doesn't want to marry Sandoval. And let me repeat, because there has been many, many scenes in which Ariana has said explicitly, I do not want to marry this man. Jax wants a fucking sandwich and LVB wants partners. So that's where we pick up at the actual wedding. Trisha working hard for the money. She's just getting these dummies in line.
Crushing it.
Telling them where to stand. I think it's really cute that Ariana and Scheana walked down together. Thought that was
there were some cute pairings for sure. And this will be my first probably, but I'm just going to say throughout, you just may hear me say like, Shay? Is Shay around? Just a few times. We're allowed to just, apropos of nothing. We don't have to talk about it. But if one of us feels like it, we can just act like we're looking for him.
And I admitted last time that I love a wedding. This little exchange here, it got me. Everybody was crying. Jax was crying. Saucy was crying. Kristen was crying. Everybody was crying. Schwartz's vows were not stupid. Katie's old ass dad, his, salt wife,
come in so hot for Katie's dad.
Listen, he looks like he's been on the seas in the Boston hot, in the, Red Sea getting crabs. And he's just like, haggard and weathered and made his way to LA to walk his daughter down the aisle. He's just like looking like he's had a hard life.
But he made it. He made it out there. Not everyone's family did.
He did. And Elsie calls him Schwartzy in her intro.
It's a beautiful setting. Like Lisa's personal touches that she does are fantastic. The Bubbas texting on tequila, all those little things. I do not like that these two were making me this emotional, to be honest with you.
I know, but see,
I'm open to have my feelings out there, but y'all, I wasn't ready for y'all to do this.
Case in point why I love a wedding, right? Like in those hours, the bubble and the little capsule of the wedding start to finish, all it is the sweetness and the hope. Like we forget about him pouring a drink on her in Mexico. We forget that she screamed, your dick doesn't work. We forget about him telling her that she's been a fucking nightmare since he met her. All of that. And it's because you're just intoxicated by the wedding of it all. And it's just very sweet and bewitching. I do wish that he could have just not did a bit at the altar
Yeah.
with the ripping up of the vows. Like, that would have been fine if you just played it straight. That's cool. Not
I
everything has to be a
will,
joke.
yeah, I'll let that one go because it was a joke. Like rather than him have just gotten up like, I'm just gonna go for it, at least he redeemed himself a little by having something written down because it did scare me.
Yeah.
And I think 100% of the people involved also.
Well, two, how everybody was saying that Sandoval's vows were probably going to be better than Katie's? They kind of were.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe he majored in, creative writing or has a fine arts degree or whatever, but I thought it was very sweet. He was like, shout out to Chris and Jody for introducing us. Very cute. I don't know if I want you to include we had to tear down our relationship to rebuild it.
Yeah.
In
Almost
the
a
vows.
failure. Oh, almost another failed romance. Yeah. You gotta like the word fail or failure in your vows.
Yeah. And Sandoval's losing his shit, wiping his eyes on the dog, but he just loves love. He loves love. And I don't love love so much as I love a wedding. And Katie's were lackluster. She was like, yeah, I knew it when you met my family and, we persevered and here we are. So
also on the AF train and her confessional, we were talking last week about AF this and that.
God.
Like, I'm married AF. So yeah, she's on that.
Many AFs.
Yeah.
This ring, not on a string. I did like Lisa's, like Gary on Lisa's punch-up team really delivered with the for richer and richer. I really liked that.
I liked that. It was my favorite. Yeah. So that was such a Lisa thing to put in there also.
Yeah. It's cute and, appropriate. So they leave there. And when I tell you people, if you guys are not watching along with us, I don't know what you're doing, but if you were just remembering that when I tell you that the cameras followed these folks every step of the way, we go from there, we watch people leave to go to the reception. We see them standing around in cocktail hour. It is really step by step by step that we see these folks.
You get to see Peter being asked for food and drink by Lisa, who wants Stassi to come fix her a plate. I mean, you're getting all the good details there. They start having their sweet little moments right here, and that's pretty entertaining. But Bravo should be covering every second of this. They've put us through a lot to get us here, so we need to see all this stuff delivered, and they've probably paid a lot for it also. So
and it's like
they need to show
folks
it.
Also kind of have short-term amnesia because they're all like, oh my God, it's such an honor. Stassi's so choked up. Jackson and I were the glue everybody sniffed, but they're really the glue that holds them together. And Kristen's like, oh, this couple is bottled. Do you guys not remember 2 weeks ago when everybody was like, don't do it? It's like the bewitching of a wedding at 100 acre mile or 100 mile acre. Now they're all just woke up today, brand new people. Do you not remember what was happening 30 days ago? I mean, it is just, it's so wild. So also, what do you make of Lisa pitching the ideas to the Toms at the wedding? Because later on, Ariana was like, please don't be tacky enough to propose to me at somebody else's wedding. Do you think this was the time and place to hit up the Toms for the new idea?
It seems weird. It seems more of her an executive producer role. That was something. Hey, let's dangle something at the end of this season so we have something to come back around to. Because the wedding is the big deal, right? But the wedding, you say I do, and that's a great end to the season. But I think EP Lisa's like, hey, we need a storyline going for season 6 and 7 because they're getting huge. Seasons 4 and 5, numbers wise and all that for the show they're just getting real big. Yeah. So it's like, what are we going to do next time? We built up to the wedding and had a wedding. We've already had one. We can't just do another one, even though I know one's coming. So let's put another business side of things on there. And I think it's just storyline building. So for the show. Yeah,
that old Scheana Shay was going to deliver in that department here, but we'll get to that in a minute. Katie looks happy, and we've talked about Katie's sort of sense of humor or just her general sensibility. She looks really happy. Lisa kind of gives us, I like when Lisa tells us a little bit about her past, but she was like Ariana at first, but then don't work,
Yeah.
you'll change your mind, because a woman's only worth is how many children she can birth out and how long she stays married. That is almost exclusively how a woman can count success in her life. So Ariana, you need to get on this, because otherwise you'll be a giant fucking failure if you don't have children or get married. And I'm paraphrasing here.
I, I do wonder sometimes if Lisa is upset that these women are having fun and success at 32 without having any kids or being married, where she got married at 20 years old and had kids and was doing all the, like, she's like, no, you've got, because there is a point when you are not married and people keep talking to you about, like, if you've been dating someone for a while, living with them for a while, like, there is a feeling of like, come join our cult. Like, you've got to be in this too. Like, man, I don't know. Lisa definitely has the feeling of like, come join us.
And especially for people of a certain age who are not having children, it is almost like so strange. I did read a little tidbit about Lisa. Remember, we were kind of wondering if Max was or was not adopted. Well, after Pandora was born, because Lisa, whatever heart she has for whatever, decided that it wasn't the best thing to do to have more children, but to adopt a baby that already existed in the world. And so Max is adopted, which is, she's out about it. She's spoken about it. I'm not spilling any tea here 20 years later, I guess.
Right.
But yes, but that is kind of sort of speaks to her idea that maybe, if I had to guess, it had as much to do with providing a loving home to a baby, as also just not wanting to be pregnant again. That might be neck and neck in Lisa's decision making.
I think that's there, yeah.
Yeah, but the idea that Ariana is supposed to somehow come around to this idea is, we've mentioned it before, it's fairly antiquated. But I did say that because I saw that in an old interview. Actually, it was a TikTok of like Lisa Vanderpump retrospective, in which they spent 4 minutes showing all these really old pictures of her. And they showed clips of her talking about it though. And like, it's for real, but they kind of scoured all of these really old pictures, and she was a real smoke show. Like, not was.
Of course.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yes, of course. I mean, the little we've seen, that's evident.
Do you want to talk about the triplet speeches? Old Billy 2 speech.
I was very scared. Yeah, I got pretty nervous, and I think like Schwartz is the one speaking for the audience almost more than anyone right here. He's like, it'll be fine. It's going to be fine. Like, surely it'll be fine. Like, he's even, I mean, it's in the confessional, so he's already seen it play out, but he's like, you can tell in the moment, as much fun as he likes to have and as much shenanigans as he's full of, there is a point at your own wedding where you want to be like, let's put a lid on that, buddy. And I don't know if these three know how to put a lid or to find a lid to put on something. So yeah, we get Billy 2's speech.
When Billy goes up there the second time, you can hear Schwartz be like, hey man, come give me a hug.
Yeah.
Come over here and hang out with us. Like, he wasn't like, shutting it down, but you could see the fear. They're like, oh shit, this man is so drunk. He doesn't remember. And then Bert and Billy, what's the third one's name? Brandon does not. We don't see Brandon speak. Yeah. Mm-mm. Also, I would just like, if you were within the sound of my voice right now, anyone, never trust a man that wears his sunglasses on his head through any sort of real occasion. Like, there's a guy on Married at First Sight who had his sunglasses on his head during his wedding. And at the end of the vows, he screamed, let's fucking go. This is giving that same energy. And I just want to say, beware, ladies. Beware, ladies, of a man who the sun's long down. He's got a suit and tie on, and he's got his sunglasses on his head. Be even more aware if they've got him on the back of his neck. He's got a secret Tinder profile with a fish in the picture. Beware. I'm just saying, the type. No, you've let that know about the top of the head to the point where, like, I get nervous if I just run in somewhere real quick and I do that. I'm like, no, I got to take these off. Sunday's got in my head. I mean, there's just no need to wear them during a real occasion. But I digress. You do. And this is the first thing too. When Sandoval gets out there to do his speech, he was like, "Oh, I hate Schwartz," said nobody ever, and I'm like, just listen to that. But I'll take a Pinot Grigio podcast to dispute that in every single way, or get on the internet. Period. I think that's really all that would take. But no, he's bringing the serious love for Tom, the serious love for these two.
And it's like the first episode in a while we haven't seen them almost make out. So it was really funny to hear him talk about how much he loved him, and
That
we
must have been
don't see the
editing.
physical. Yeah.
That must have been editing, because surely they've been made out just a little, even if it was just like, closed mouth, no tongue.
Yeah. And then we get Stassi. She's going to bring some emotion as well.
Sure.
And that's when like, weddings can really bring it out of everyone. Like, and
Yes.
I don't mean like Stassi's cold or something, but she is emotional in a way we haven't seen. I love it, and I'm right there with her.
I mean, it got me because she was talking about how these two have taken care of her, and the flashback to that, like the scene in the first season where, yes, I had relations with that woman in Vegas and impregnated her. And she is sitting on the floor of her apartment, just crying. And Katie walks in. Like, that got me. I was like, yes. Oh, yes. Y'all are friends. I love it.
I know. I was really like mental note to myself, like, don't just look up YouTube wedding videos later. If you and for some reason, if you walk by a bad news and you feel the urge, like, don't just go look up YouTube wedding video. I was like, I think I could go down a deep rabbit hole of wedding videos right now, and I don't need that.
This is where we heard some of the Harbor Party. This is the band, but surely we didn't hear everything that they were singing. We only heard the songs that Bravo could get the rights to, which was Dance Hall Days. That we heard that song for sure, but we didn't hear any other real songs. I don't think, because they couldn't get the rights to the other ones, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so for sure. Plus, they played for like 5 hours, so they're not going to play 5 hours of music in 40 minutes. I mean, we're going to get some snippets.
But I don't even think we got the real snippets. I think they meant that we got the like royalty free over the snippets, and the only real song we got of Harbor Party playing, I think, was the Dance Hall Days. Because otherwise, Bravo's having to shell out all these like licensing fees and royalty fees.
Right. Yeah, and Harbor Party still out there doing it, y'all. They're available right now. Yeah, and did Scheana not understand what yacht rock is? She seems confused.
I had this in my Because the Past,
Okay.
Yacht rock. Yeah. I think yacht rock became a genre that was kind of like mainstream in and around this time.
Oh, no, it was the TV show was on a while before this. Yeah.
But in of this age right here, like late 20s, people weren't like yacht rocking. And I imagine that's probably part of the reason that Schwartz and Katie wanted this band, because it was just so cool and interesting and hipster, and like people don't know what yacht rock is, so, but also too, I don't know what kind of education Scheana got in Azusa. She doesn't know a lot of things.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
The shower.
Oh yeah, I love the names of a bunch of those yacht rock bands. Like, we saw Yachtly Crew a couple times last year at the Bourbon and Beyond. They'll be there this year.
Yeah, I don't mind the yacht rock. It's universally pleasing. Yeah, everybody loves it. Go put it on at a party. Everybody's gonna hear something they like.
That's right.
And then talking Jax has got jokes. Why, man? Why?
I have nothing but questions on this. No, just no.
Bring her to the side and say, I love you, and this is going to happen, which he eventually got to, which was nice. And, weddings, much like funerals, start making you think about your own experience. So, like, when you go to a wedding, you start thinking about what you want your wedding to look like, or what your wedding did look like, or you kind of reminisce it. Just like a funeral, you think about, hey, what do I want to happen at my funeral, or whatever. Just say in that space, Jax. Don't be funny. You're not funny enough.
No, he's not. And I kind of wanted him to go a little further, because even if he was kidding, Brittany was about to rip his head off. Like, she said cut his dick off, I think, later. But you could see it. Like, she was really building, because I don't know if Jax is messing around at first. It's Jax. He's not always the prankster. And we will be in a cabin later in bed, laying down. We can discuss our wedding and our future then. We will wake up here tomorrow in this beautiful place, and we can talk about what we'll do in the future now. Like, don't propose to someone at someone else's wedding, and don't do a fake breakup with your serious girlfriend either. Don't do a fake breakup. That's not good. Don't do
a fake breakup. That's really shitty. But I did notice a couple of things that were in the previously on this season, I guess, that were setting up. So, you took her out of Kentucky and drug her all the way out here. So Jax telling her, hey, this will happen for us, I think was nice and poignant. What I didn't understand was why they chose to include the scene of drunk ass Katie saying, this is why I didn't even want Ariana in the wedding in the first place. What did Ariana do?
I don't know.
She was fine.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm puzzled by that one. I am puzzled by Kristen and whatever her ring situation is going on.
So she doesn't work. Like, I could understand wearing a fake ring if you went to a job that you had to interact with a lot of strangers. Like, you were public facing and you just didn't want to deal with it. But like, is somebody coming in her apartment when she's making her t-shirts and hitting on her?
I mean, she talks about it in the confessional. Like, it's not even something she's keeping secret. I mean, not only have we seen it before on the season, but she brings it up, and it's kind of like she talks about it with Carter even. Also, Shay. Is there a Shay?
No. Hello.
Party of Shay?
Michael Shay. Shay. But this is also, too, where Ariana ever getting drunker and drunker through the night, which I really like drunk Ariana, too. We don't see, like, boozy Ariana a lot like we do like Kristen or Katie, but I really like kind of just, she's kind of like wobbly a little bit, in which, she's got a bit of a sway to her, and she loves weddings. Me too, girl. I know, I get it, but don't get carried away. And then this is when Sandoval, also very much having big feelings, just, I love you, man. I want to be married and be a dad, and I gotta be a good dad. A bunch of little Arianas and Sandoval's running around. Ariana's like, nah, I'm all set for this. I'm all good. Like, I'm not gonna shoot him down and dash his hopes, but it's a no for me, dog.
She doesn't say as much as she does with her face, really, because it is the look I'm getting. And, I mean, as much as, we've watched 20 previous episodes this season, but we've also, heard her a lot in other ones. It's just a very clear, hey, man, we talked about this. I'm not changing my mind. Like, I said my piece on this, and that's exactly like her look was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, not like she's not just, no, I can't believe you asked me that. She's not getting upset, but there's a very like, if you do this, I'm gonna be upset. Like, we have talked about this, but the future
campaign is really what gets me. And, we're not there yet for Ariana to be hearing other people talk about like her timeline, because she's only like 30. People only start to like talk to women about their quote timeline and their biological clock around like 34 or 35. So Ariana's not having to like fend off those kind of disgusting comments. But this is a coercion campaign. Sandoval, this seems like it should be a conversation. If you want to get married and have children and this woman doesn't, this is a big deal. This is a sticking point in a relationship that cannot be overcome. Waiting for her to come around or waiting for Sandoval to get over it is just not the best tactic. It's not relationship tactics you really want to execute. I mean, it's danger.
I mean, some of that we've seen him saying, like, it's more in the confessional, like, luckily he doesn't say all that to her right out there, but I get him talking about the future, because I'm sure he has at this point, for sure. I mean, I think right here I think he's all excited because Lisa's talking to him about the future, business-wise. Yeah. So he's thinking about the future plans. And so it's just kind of like he's overcome with the emotion, and I think it's just spilling out. But like I said, she's let us know, and I'm sure he is letting her know plenty of times that like that is what he wants. Yeah, hopefully he's not pushing it too much here.
Stop saying that shit to me. That's fucking pressure. But
it's such a no, just in her face, though. Yeah.
When they cut to the cake cutting, I just made a note of, did we get this much coverage for old Scheana and Shay's wedding? Like, we were like, these are down to the granular moments where, he like even flicks it on her nose, and Jackson's like, yeah, I'd have put her foot in it and licked it off. I mean, we're getting like almost a wide scope of their wedding, whereas we got one episode of like Scheana's actual wedding. We're getting like 3 for the Schwartzes.
I will say, if one person made the entire event about them, then maybe this one also would have not. I mean, we didn't get to see as much of the wedding as because we had to watch one person and their wedding planner really go at it for half the episode during the Scheana wedding.
I was gonna say, Trisha's on her knees thanking baby Jesus in the manger that she got this VPR castmate, not the other one.
Yeah, I mean, this one, they're like, hey, let's actually get to show it. Last time it was like, well, we got to speed through because Bridezilla was going off over there a minute ago.
Also, where is Shay?
Where's Shay?
Nope, not around.
I like there was a little snippet of like Kristen trying to request something from the band, I think, and they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, I bet this happened every 3 songs. I bet Kristen was like, no, you know what you should play? You know what you should play? Like, and then 15 minutes later, like, hey, there's this song playing when they met. It was, here, I'll sing it for you. Like, she doesn't know the name of the song, so she's got to like when the band takes a break, Kristen's hounding them about like,
what do you think? What do you think the band hated more? Kristen making all those drunko requests or Sandoval playing his dumb fucking trumpet?
Trumpet. I didn't even need you to finish asking the question. I'm not interrupting. I just wanted to go ahead and let you know it's trumpet.
Oh,
hands. Because you can understand the drunk best friend at the wedding badgering you about doing Whitesnake again. Sure, that's going to happen. No problem. But like, also the groomsman is going to come up here and play the trumpet right next to the saxophone guy. Like, nah, I don't think we're doing that.
Call it a surprise. That's not what it is. That is not what it is. We did get a little snippet, too, of Stassi and Lisa kind of dancing a little. So I guess we know that they're back in good terms. Everything is fine. Cool. You know, all cool.
No, I think the Lisa and Stassi almost like quasi as close to twerking as either one of them is going to. Like, that was a good shot right there. That's a nice, like, good times are happening. If that's going on, then good times are happening.
Stassi's so savvy. She's like, oh, why are you so skinny? Stassi knows how to be in this world. Okay.
That's exactly right. Stassi, yeah, I'll make her a plate. You think I know how to serve Lisa Vanderpump? Exactly. I'm not too proud to do that.
Exactly. And then another conversation with Lisa and the Toms in which Schwartz is like, I don't think so. This is too much pressure for me. What? I mean, like, so in her confessional, Lisa's talking about what a joie de vivre Schwartz has, and that she just everything needs a face, and that they're going to call it Tom Tom because of you guys. And Schwartz immediately says, no.
I don't know about all that. That sounds like a lot of responsibility right there.
I was just
Lisa Vanderpump, who owns multiple restaurants and clubs, all pretty successful. She's employed you, I don't know, at least 4 different ways. Your new wife is employed to her in 3 different ways. She's given you an opportunity to be the face of a whole operation that's going to be yours. We're going to give it a cool name. We're going to put it in an awesome neighborhood. Here you go. Nah, I might get another Modelo commercial soon. I don't know if I can.
Yeah. And provide you all the resources that you're going to need, right? Like, it's not like you're out here on a limb. Like, it's wild. I mean, this is a gift. She is giving you a gift without you having to have earned any of it. In fact, you have actively worked against the reputation that she wants you to exhibit. You have done things that would make her question your very existence, but she's doing it anyway. And you're like, I think I'm going to pass on that. That's just too much responsibility. I can't do it.
I
cannot.
Unenthused even. Like, he wasn't even like, hey man, that's a cool idea. Like, that's a cool name. And wow. Like, but like, I don't know. Like, it was just very like, you can go fuck yourself. You know, I can go kick a can down the road if I'm going to waste my time with you jabronis.
Can you imagine if Katie had overheard this conversation, which we know that he comes around or whatever, but can you imagine if Katie had been standing just like behind a bush looking around, like immediate divorce and or spousal abuse?
What was I thinking?
On our wedding night? You can't even say yes on our wedding night. How are we going to pay for this shit? Say yes, dummy.
Sandoval like has to reiterate, like, this is a big deal. Please reconsider. Like, this is a gigantic opportunity. Because also he's got to be like, I'm getting offered this too. If you fuck this up for me, like, I'm going to bury you, man.
They can't just call it Tom.
We do
Um,
see we do see Jiggy in the middle of all this wearing about, I don't know, $100,000 in jewelry. I'm guessing something like that.
are we
Jiggy's
sure
real
that
real done up.
this dog is alive? Like, I see Pandy
Okay.
kind of handling him earlier in the ceremony, and he does not look like he has a joie de vivre, okay? He looks
We
like
need a safety check on Shay and Jiggy now, everybody. We need a Shay.
Pandy is handling a corpse, okay? Like,
Harbor Party has to pause the yacht rock. We need a safety check on 2 individuals now, both of which have spoken as much in the last 4 episodes combined.
exactly the exact same amount of words have been uttered by both of these individuals.
They're
Look,
tied for screen time in the series.
let's take a break right here, and then we'll come back and talk about this Ariana Stassi exchange that makes me love Stassi so much. Okay. The way that Stassi is like, God damn it, just start liking me already. I relate to that in a way so much because Stassi wants her to like her, but does not want to have to really invest any time and effort into a friendship. She's like, just like me, for fuck's sake. And
I
they have
think
this
she's
exchange.
I think she's just like has seen when Ariana can be mean and doesn't want to be on that. So she's like,
Yes.
just be friends with me. I just don't want to be on the receiving end of when you're mean, because like it really gets me. You're very good at it. You're much funnier than I am.
But the conversation takes kind of an emotional turn where, Stassi's like, listen, man, you just really don't seem like you really want new friends. And I don't know, whatever Ariana heard, it kind of like tripped some switch. And she was like, I'm doing the best I can. I don't want to be some 30-year-old bartender at a restaurant, which we already know that you're not. That's not exclusive. Like, you're not having the real kind of like quarter life crisis that a lot of 30-something-year-olds have when they're trying to kind of figure out their career. That's not real. But she breaks down talking about, I'm just so busy with this cocktail book and I'm doing the best I can. And Stassi's like, yeah, we all are, which is kind of, true. But Stassi wears her down.
She does. Yeah. I buy into it. I believe she is having a big crisis. I mean, for all your eggs to be in the Vanderpump basket, I mean, that feels volatile. Like that could explode at any time. And if that's going to be great on your resume in 5 years or shitty on your resume in 5 years, could depend a lot on somebody like Jax Taylor. Like your books haven't come out yet. You aren't on like a ton of podcasts yet. Like you may not
That's
be.
not how she's framing it. She's framing it as just some 30-something bartender in a restaurant. It's not like that's how she's saying, oh, I don't want to be that. And we already know that her career she has this opportunity for the book. She's on this show. So, there's a little bit of pity party happening, but, Stassi feels really great because she cracked her. And then, Ariana thinks maybe Stassi's not so bad. And Stassi's like, ha ha ha, we got it. And then they, talk about how they would murder each other, and which is a perfectly acceptable way to put a, button up a conversation, I think, because truthfully, every person that you've ever met in your life that you didn't like a little bit, we've all thought about how we would murder them. Like, I know exactly in my head right now how I would murder my ex-husbands, 100%, specifically tailored to them is how they would. Oh, and every ex-boyfriend, I know exactly how I would murder them.
I think it's a great place to meet in the middle. It gives me all I want to do with these two. Like if I'm one of their coworkers there, I want to like just make up a couple plates of food and give them a bottle of booze and get them in a room and like accidentally lock them in there. Like Stassi and Ariana are getting along. Like, let's make this happen. Like, imagine how great everyone could get along if these two
skated past. So you don't have in your pocket how you would murder anybody in your life, any like friend, any old girlfriend, anybody that you like had beef with, that you had a really kind of a tense relationship with. You did not know how you would murder them.
I didn't say I didn't. First off, I've had those thoughts for sure. I don't have them like tattooed on my brain like you do. I don't think.
Well, are you worried that like that person might wind up dead in that manner, and you don't want to incriminate yourself, like in case my beach builder turns up dead because he ate ground glass in his grits, and they're like, oh, Sunday, you admitted it on the podcast. We got to investigate you. Is that what you're?
Yeah. No matter how many states I've worked in, I'm going to keep it anonymous as I can to this day. Absolutely.
Jeff's a chicken. You're a chicken. Doesn't want to incriminate himself. But yes, it ends on a neutral state.
Yes.
They're
We like
boozing plus
murder.
whatever else. Yeah. Murder for life is how they end it. Oh, we do. This is Shay sighting. The first of the night.
Oh yeah, when he's like looking around. maybe he's looking out for G.
Yeah, and he looks like he crawled out of the bottom of the clothes hamper after all week's laundry had been piled on top of him. He looks rough. Now, remember, the last time we saw him, he was laying with a pillow on his face, pillow on his chest, in front of a fan because when it gets hot in 100 Acre Wood, where are they at? Northern California? Yeah, it's a real sweat box up there, the beginning of September. Yeah, I bet they're really like sweating their nuts off. Yeah, I bet so.
And
the shakes, sir.
Maybe I could have paid a little more attention to Shay, but Kristen was jumping around talking about whether or not she was ovulating. So I was a little more. I was going to pay.
Carter started that. The editing cut him off because he said something about it's going to happen tonight. But the editing cut his phrasing off. But luckily my captioning got it. So he started that. So everybody is just drunk on wedding, plus drunk on other things.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Just wedding drunk.
Yeah. So you always ask me like, what would this show be if they were all being positive, like this right here? Isn't it magical? Yes. Isn't this great?
Ask me what my favorite part of this episode was, Jeff.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Exactly. Exactly. The clown college sitting around having a real bro moment, and I'd take a bullet for you, man, in the leg. Oh. I'd fight a bear for you. No, I'd rape a bear, but only if the bear consented. What are we doing?
Jax is so much also. I mean, just so much.
I know, but he's not even the one that said he'd rape a bear. That was fucking Schwartz. He got that conversation got away from him in a way that he could not hold on to. And Jax says, this is another time where Jax is like, nobody could ever say anything bad about you except for the internet and this podcast. The only thing people can say bad about Schwartz is that he's friends with Jax. Okay, at least you're self-aware.
Lisa makes one last appearance before she can tell everybody goodbye for a few months, because this is the last episode. I did wonder, I was like,
they think
Lisa doesn't go back to LA after this, probably, right? Like they got up here this day, like this is the end of the season. I bet like her and Ken have some huge, they probably went on vacation for 3 months. That's why Scheana's got to catch up with her.
Well, before I move on from the clown college meeting really quickly, it's so bizarre that they're sitting around just like hugging each other and like tickling each other's balls. But like, hey, remember that time when I slept with your girlfriend?
Yeah. It wasn't 3 times. It was only 2 times. Yeah.
And I guess that's what Lisa's referring to about, this crowd that gets over it or whatever. I mean, I guess that sort of speaks to the chemistry of the show and why it was loved back then and why we love it now. But I was like, damn, y'all had a real rocky past. But yes, the 3 months, we see the LVP. She signs the marriage certificate.
They are a real committed couple. And that's why she feels good signing it.
Katie says that she wants folks to look at them as a model, that they're the committed couple, that they're willing to fight for their relationship and that they made it. Yeah, we see fighting all right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether or not we are seeing it in a positive light. I don't know. So that's the wrap on Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz right there. So this is what I think happened. So Bravo is notorious for, wrapping filming. And if something happens close enough to either when they wrapped or when they're about, they send cameras over. Like Scheana's probably in touch with her producer. And she's probably like, oh my God, you will not freaking believe what just happened. Shay's this, and this. So the producer sends out the back call. Mount up, regulators, go get your cameras, go get your boom mics. Head on over to Scheana Shay's house. But before we have to stop by. And I even wrote, are these folks contractually obligated to just stay in touch with Lisa? Just anything like out of the ordinary or anything kind of like drama wise happens, they have to let
Lisa guaranteed
know. And
no.
they have to film a scene with her about it because Scheana, you didn't go talk to your mom about this. Like, what are you doing? Like,
you think Jax Taylor calls on Lisa every time he's in trouble doing something? No, that would have to be the show.
No,
that would have to be their own show then.
he had to have a phone call with her about fucking jail. He had to have a sit down with her about, him catching her Kentucky muffin. Like, how many times have Katie, I think that Lisa has it in her contract that, listen, if something juicy's going down, I need you to film a scene with me about it. I got to be first in line on this train, okay? Because we see Scheana riding to Lisa Vanderpump's house, and we're just like, oh, hell, what's this? Her
She looks
eyelashes
pissed.
are just spider legs. She's got some very aggressive highlighter, probably to, zhuzh up after all the crying. And, some things have come to light. She's found out some things, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things. And Lisa says, I've heard some rumblings. Why don't you call Scheana and tell her then? Don't let her find out on her own. Goddamn.
What have you been hearing exactly? I want to know about this. I want to know that exactly.
And don't let Scheana find out from the plug that this man's back on drugs. Like, Lisa, have some respect. But yeah, Shay's been missing for 6 days straight. He's not answering the phone. He's came and cleared out all of his things. He's been at his parents' house. He's been there for 2 weeks. And
he's done days at a time, weeks at a time, different things.
And she's been lying to everyone to say everyone's hunky-dory. And for those of my Beverly Hills Housewives fans, who's hunky-dory? That's a joke you'll get if you watch The Real Ultimate Housewives Trip 20s. And so Lisa goes in. She, soft, comforting Lisa has left the building. It's, I fucking told you so. This shit is bullshit.
Yeah, she calls her out a little, in a good way. In a good way, but she calls her out for sure.
Yeah. And she finds out he's been taking Adderall. Is Adderall addictive? I thought that they built in some kind of fail-safes.
Oh,
so that it can't. ADHD medicine couldn't be addictive.
No, I mean, out of all the wild stuff that was going on in my, college time, I had one friend, it was a couple that had a big-time Adderall addiction, and, one of them stole from me. I knew a lot of shady folks. Only one, broke into my actual house and stole from me. And that was a guy that was, it was for Adderall. Yeah. I mean, not from me. It was for to get the Adderall. But yeah, it can be a big thing. But that is a lot of money to be going missing. Yeah. That's a big deal. Yeah. So there's a lot happening here.
And I guess I'm saying that too, only because I'm just ignorant. Ethan takes an ADHD medicine and it's not Adderall, and what he takes is not addictive. I guess because he's a child, but I just didn't realize that was a thing, which I definitely know now. But yeah, $7,000. Also, ma'am, you had to figure out that your account went into overdraft by looking through your emails. You didn't that's not something you check in on.
I did have to, I mean, I wondered myself, I was like, it didn't go what kind of increments did he just pull out $7,000 at once? Or, cause that would have been the whole, but I was like, Scheana's going through a lot. Let me just let Scheana have her moment, and
online banking was very different back then. It was
that's true. That's true.
We were getting text alerts and things like that back then. So I'm going to give it to her, but
I think my bank would have called me if $7,000 went missing. Somebody took all the money you've had from the last few years.
Well, I mean, not if your name was on the account, I guess, right? But $32 left in her account, and she's upset. I can't picture my life. And Lisa's like, "You're not too young to start over." Yike. Yeah. And this is where I really have respect for Scheana. You can see kind of the pettiness in her starting to kind of flower out a little bit, where, earlier she's crying and she said, I want him to look me in the eye and tell me a lie. And we see in this next scene where she's kind of baiting that conversation. She's leading the conversation to where she can get to a place to it. And I'm like, okay, girl, I see you. And also what I see is not the very first conversation this woman has had like this with this man.
No, I mean, not even the first one we've seen. So who knows how many? I mean,
but I mean, a conversation in which she's asking him to admit something she already knows is happening. Yeah. She already knows that it's drugs. And I wonder if, as a way to kind of buffer his reputation, or maybe buffer the reputation, what's left of the marriage or Scheana, that they used Adderall as a substitute for something else.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Still an upper situation, or because it was a downer
maybe
before. So,
but I'm just saying his previous problems were opioids.
right.
And oftentimes,
Well, that's one.
maybe Scheana perceives that a problem with Adderall is less grave or would be less reputation killing or something or something. Or it's Adderall and something else because, I mean, he's not cured from this particular disease, obviously, but I don't know. Sheena's real curated in what she wants to share and what she doesn't as a way to kind of this. And I think that there's some things she's calling out of the story. Don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of took it as face value, I guess, more of what it is and how she's reacting. It eventually seemed genuine for me. It seemed weird at first, like the two of them. It seems sometimes things just seem a little put on in here, and Shay did it first, but then I just got to really not liking him. We don't see a ton of him, and so I always kind of judge how he is based on like how he is in like that scene, and I never really think about him as a big picture kind of person.
Yeah.
And like my thoughts on Shay just really went down the toilet in this one. Not like I understand like being addicted to stuff is horrible, and I'm not like you're not a lesser person for that, but like
Yeah.
the
The fuck Lisa
disappearing for
Vanderpump.
weeks and stuff to get someone's attention, like what like and you listened, didn't you? Like, yeah, man, there's better ways to do it than that, and that's not really even being a good liar. And like you're like the stuff just doesn't add up, and we've been down this road before, and you just took a bunch of money and you don't have anything to say about that. Like
Yeah.
there's
Well,
a lot that didn't make him look great here for me
I have a
finally.
lot of skepticism in and around this kind of like, additive scenes. If I had to guess, they had probably already had a version of this conversation off camera.
Yeah, that's true.
And so Scheana is like, hey, maybe they'll give us a bonus, or hey, in order to secure my spot or my story or whatever, I need you to come back and refilm this for me. And so some of that meanness may have been him getting like re-mad about it or having a reaction that he had time to cultivate, because they had to have talked about it before this conversation.
Yeah, he's got to repack his sneakers up. Shit.
Yeah, because she went straight to divorce. She was like, "I'm seeing a divorce lawyer on Friday. Get your shit and get the fuck out." No, it's after he said "fuck Lisa Vanderpump." That alone was it for me. You're dead to me, Shay.
Yeah. For what? Like giving you a platform and a name and people know who you are and you can go into places and tell them you work with so-and-so. Yeah, fuck her, man. That's exactly right.
Yes. And I felt really, really sad. I often don't feel all the way sympathy for Scheana in a lot of ways, but I felt a lot of sympathy for her where he was like, yeah, all you do is financially support me. And she starts like naming these things. The minute you have to start naming the things you did for somebody, no, you don't fuck with them. Like they've already lost what you deserve. Like, I mean, what they deserve from you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she's kind of like making her case to how she's been such a good wife. That's pitiful. You don't ever need to do that. You shouldn't ever have to do that. And he is grappling with disease. This man looks crazy. He looks like who fucking done it. Red eyes, 3-day-old beard, that shirt. I think even his buttons were buttoned wrong. He looks insane.
That's just Shay being Shay right there.
Just Shay be Shayin'.
Yeah, I mean, I really wonder. We've spoken before about this. Like, I can see how Scheana is hard to get through to. Like I can see her like, and I've made fun of it before too. Like, I bet she's at home just going on and on and on about this. Like, but how much is he really saying? Like, yo, we need to change how we communicate. We need to do this. I need to speak to you, be able to speak to you about these things, because like, even though you're up against somebody, if you really, if you want to work it out, you're going to have to be upfront about that kind of thing. And if you're struggling with something, and you're going to be with somebody, you got to be upfront with that person about this stuff. And like, that can be hard, but he's able to go to his folks and to the studio and to all these other things. So he's not like holed up in bed and that's it. So
it's his passion that's
faulted
keeping him
him
up
a
all
lot
night, Jeff.
this time. Yeah, we're passionate.
It's his passionate. But I will say this too. There is an inherent power differential in this relationship because Scheana does make the money. And she mentions that she's paid for equipment and time and this and that and stuff. And so in of itself, that can be a thorn in a marriage or in a relationship too, because you have to grapple with then you throw in addiction, and then you throw in Scheana's personality disorder, in which she is just extremely hungry for everyone's attention at all times. And, it doesn't make for a great relationship. And the fact that, you've said this before, this man did not want to be on a TV show, I don't think.
No, and I'm struggling to not bring that up all the time. Like, you don't want to be in this city, I don't think. You don't,
Mm-hmm.
This isn't your vibe right here, man. Like, you want to get out, so go ahead and get out. I don't like you went this way about it. And a lot of adults have passions, and they work their job so they can pay for their passionate stuff, like Scheana's doing. So
yes. And, there is a fair amount of she lucked into this particular show. She worked, whatever. But I'm interested in where Shay is now. I think I might do me a little Google between now and our coverage of the reunion, which I already watched a few minutes of it, because I just kind of wanted. That's why I got reminded that Kentucky Muffin and Kristen Doty were, doing that, because at the beginning. But he does show up in the reunion. And sorry if this is a spoiler, it definitely is a spoiler. She has already got a new man. By the time the freaking reunion rolls around, she's got a new man. So we'd see Shay, but I don't know if we see the new man or not. She just says it in the early. Well, I watched Andy's where he says hello to everybody. You know how he always says oh, hey, Jax, hey, Lisa Vanderpump. He just goes around to everybody. And he said something to Scheana. I was oh yeah, it's a lot going on, big, hectic. And she's yeah, I got a new haircut and a new man. That's all I heard. But he also forgot to go to Kristen. He was Kristen was hi, Andy.
I'm with Andy. Yeah. I wondered about that, actually. She seemed so sure of I'm done this time. When she was talking to Lisa, even, I was I believe her more. What's got me believe? What is this confidence that she's got all of a sudden? I want to see him lie to my face. That's not Scheana. Well, look, she got that last name. That's all she was there for.
Exactly. And I think it was that disappearing $7,000 that may have lit that fire inside our old girl. There ain't nothing financially losing out. But the reunion, and then also too, Shay packing that purple fucking suitcase.
That's what I was.
So demoralizing.
And he had to do it twice, maybe.
I don't give him a break. 3-part reunion, which we have decided we're going to do it all in one, too. So y'all heads up for that for next week. And, find us on the social medias. We're going to do our because the past and stuff, but just find us on the social medias and, Take a Pinot Pod, TikTok, Instagram. And Jeff, we are watching the Double Lives of Suburban Lives, and
we are
Double Lives of Suburban Wives, and we are getting a real eyeful. I had to wash my eyeballs out in the special eye wash station like you have in your high school science lab, because Jeff. So y'all go listen to that. McBee is over now, which is probably posted by the time you hear this. And an Ultimate Girls Trip, I mentioned it. And that's all we have that's going on. And besides our Vantage Vanderpump.
We got our vampires.
Oh, that's right. Our Vantage vampires. God, I don't know what's wrong with me. All right.
Did you have some from the past?
Just a couple that were kind of nebulous. First, I said the yacht rock thing. Second, Stassi talking about she's been waiting to crack Ariana. She's been waiting to crack her. That's not what crack means in 2026. When somebody's talking about cracking, they're talking about fucking.
But crack still means crack.
I got cracked open.
Also.
I know, but in 2026, it was just that in that context. And then also Tom RIP. Because we know from our season 12 coverage, we know that it is no more. So RIP. Do you have any?
Is that just because you were writing your Stassi Ariana fan fiction when you were thinking about cracking? And
listen, I don't choose what the kids say these days. I don't have a say in the lingo.
All I had was the tom-tom
in
in the past. That it was sometimes when they come out, it's because you're making fun of stuff, and there was just less stuff to make fun of as usual in this one. Too much love around. What about your LVP?
So controversial. I have not picked this person for my LVP in many, many weeks, but it's Scheana.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to pull the trigger. Like, I mean, I guess Shay is blowing up their life, but for her to be like, I'm going to take control of this shit. I'm going to tell the story that I want to tell. This is my apartment. That's probably her purple suitcase. Pack your shit and get the fuck out. I'm not doing this anymore. I think it took a lot of courage. And if I had to guess, I imagine there were many, many exhaustive conversations where she was like, hey, I'll pay for you to get help. We can do X, Y, and Z, and A, B, and C could happen, blah, blah, blah. So for her to finally get to the point where she's like, fuck this shit, I think that it shows a lot of courage. So good for
It
you,
does.
Scheana.
Absolutely. No, I like that one.
Who is yours?
I kind of picked my favorite of the little convos on the side. I really enjoyed the Ariana and Stassi moment. These are our two biggest stars from the show. I'd say like these are future authors, these are future hosts, these are future big stars of today. And to be able to watch them finally like overcome some things, at least for now, for this night, have a somewhat normal conversation. And it's like, this happens, there's no teams anymore. If these two get along, there is no like our group's doing this and our group's doing that. Like this could really, project them in a different way. I'm not saying it won't make that prediction, but it would be nice. And it was at least a really cool moment, especially where these two are now.
I would also like to send a special shout out to weddings.
Yes,
bringing people together. And I didn't really have a chump. I mean, like maybe like chump light was the brothers, like with their shirt untucked and their bow ties were like loose and they had the sunglasses on their head and
the glasses. Don't forget the glasses.
Yeah. And Bert making a speech twice and one of them not making one at all. Like, but I didn't, and they were mildly chumpy. Did you have one?
I was actually thinking of, I went Schwartz at one point because I know he still doesn't want to get married and he did all this to us and he didn't want to work Tom and I still can't figure out anything about Tom Schwartz that's not like snap out of it, man.
Saying no to a woman handing you a restaurant is wild work.
Yeah. I didn't want to pick it. I'm just going to reluctantly still go with it. I'm just going to go with Schwartz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I wanted to go with the purple suitcase also, but Schwartz is my overall.
Well, do you remember? Well, I may be revealing something about the trauma of my childhood, but like if your mom punished you or like whooped you for something she thought you did, and then it turned out that maybe you didn't do it. It was a sibling or it was a friend or it was a misunderstanding. She's like, oh, well, I know you probably did something I didn't know about. That's how it is.
I do know that.
He is probably going to do something that that he deserves it. So I'll allow it.
No, and thanks for bringing back some good memories of childhood. Really.
Listen, we're all out here just telling our truth, Joe.
What a season, though. I mean, when Shay did walk out of that door, I was like, man, what a bummer. But I was like, bring on these reunions because this season was chock full. So this is going to be some explosive shit. I'm excited more than I have been in any of the others. I'm ready.
Do we do our like hopes, dreams, wishes, or predictions now or at the end of the reunion? I forget.
We'll save it for reunion, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll save it for reunion because I've got some real big hopes for season 6.
Do you have one for the reunions?
Yes. I want Lala and James to sort of get their say in things because it's like they really dangled this juicy, not them as a couple, but like these folks played a really, really big part in the first 30% of the season, and then they just went away. So what's happening there? I also would like to know whether or not Kristen actually did go down on Brittany.
Oh, sure.
Once and for all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think there's been so much. It's so hard for me to remember the breadth of what What were the major conflicts? Yeah,
I
Lala
mean,
and
you are
Katie.
touching on a lot of them. I mean, when you say Lala, that covers a whole lot in a lot of different ways. Yeah, I want her to get her story straight, it all. Like, let's get,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care if it's every version, like the whole story. I want one narrative from Lala for us to go on, like, oh, okay, this was going on, other than my anxiety. And I had to do all this other stuff and I was so anxious. I had to go get all this done so I could come here and look at you in front of these cameras in front of millions of people.
And
And
maybe Katie
James,
saying,
he could
"Hey,
fall
I'm
and break
sorry
his
I called
neck.
you a home wrecking slut." Like maybe Katie say sorry for being so nasty, and Lala, because Lala's already said sorry for the summer body shit, but like maybe Katie,
Yeah.
because we've been nice to Katie. Our listeners say that we're so hard on Katie, but I think we've been fairly nice to her in the last few episodes. And so she needs to earn that back. Like if we're going to continue, she's going to continue to be in our good graces. She needs to show up.
Yeah, I would love that. And I would love for her and Schwartz to be like looking like a good couple. I don't want to be this emotional about them at the wedding and then they're right back to New Orleans. So I'm hoping for that. And yeah, I'm excited to see them. This will be good. Now that I've got a few under my belt, I know a little bit of what to look for. So I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, me too. I couldn't help myself. I had to watch a few minutes of it because it was just so juicy, but I'm going to go watch it now while I get ready for my meeting and stuff. So, but yeah, so find us on the socials, go and listen to all of our stuff. And if you haven't, go listen to our House of Stassi coverage or go watch Stassi and then come back and listen to the coverage because it is fairly insightful about the distance between Stassi then and Stassi now. It's really interesting. And for sure, listen to our Slutty Only Wives coverage. It is really fun, and we are having a really hard time knowing what to do with it. So,
new name of the show, Slutty Only Wives. That is amazing. SAOSOWSTL. There we go.
Yes. Well, all of my podcasts that I'm listening to about it, it's such a mouthful to their, like, one of them calls it like Sluddle, like the suburban, like double lives of suburban wives, like Dulcewell. Like,
I saw one of them get a mouthful. All right.
Oh God. Don't Google it, y'all. Do not Google Erica
I've seen
Swings adult
a couple
content.
of them with mouthfuls. It's out there. It's so out there.
Yes. What do you call it? What is the foreign word for like tight sealed or fully sealed where you've got something in every single...
Jeff at PinoPod.com, everybody. Put us there. Please let me know anything and that you're out there. That's it.
Goodbye, everyone.